like on the 4 hour, and then we'll just manage to break that above,
Yeah.
possibly.
Yes. I think. Hold on. I'm just starting up the stream and then I'm going to take a look. But
Yeah,
my
no worries.
my thing is that I see on the 4 hour, like, obviously candles are bullish, but this was the area that I spoke about, that if we come to retest, that's when we can continue further down. So that's why when I came to when I looked at the charts and I see, okay, well, we tried to go bullish and then we came all the way down. I didn't think that, I thought that we should, continue moving bearish and maybe correct some of this move. But I mean, there hasn't even been a retracement like for buys. If there is buys, then candles just went straight bullish. So I don't know. We'll see. Because this candle's coming to a close in 2 minutes. And if it closes below and then the next one breaks the low, then I could add my position back on. But I just don't want it to close back in the range. Otherwise, it's not, the sells aren't really valid at that point. Okay. Okay, so we've got like a minute and a half left. Okay, so it seems like it's gonna close below, hopefully. So if it can, then I think it's gonna be okay. Morning. Morning, everyone. Did I execute the third trade yesterday? No. No, I didn't execute a third trade. I'm actually currently in sales from around 141,464. So we'll see. Since this candle is closing below, I think if the next one can break the low, I think that's going to be a really good opportunity for price to continue down. Yeah, maybe could have waited for the first 15 minutes, but since it's closing below this zone, yeah, see, it's closed like a weak bullish. If we take a look at the next 30-minute candle, yeah, I think we should continue down at this point. Yeah, if the next candle can break this low over here, then I'm going to add my other 50% position on for price to continue bearish right over here. I've also brought my stop above this this previous 15-minute candle now. What about GBP AUD? Not looking at GBP AUD. I don't look at that. So yeah, it seems as though price moved bullish in the Asian session. So let's take a look at the daily time frame now. So daily, I mean, since we surpassed this high, we could be moving bullish, right? Higher time frames now could start to go bullish. But based on the smaller time frames, you know, with GJ and I think I got
I
stopped
think you
out.
might have got stopped. Yeah,
Yeah, I think I
gonna
did.
say.
Oh yeah, look, I did. Yeah, we never broke the low. Came right back up in the range. Well, there you go. Yeah, I got out with like a 200 loss from a 5 loss. So not too bad. Not too bad. So yeah. See, usually when price is moving bullish pre-London and then you get like a big fake out like this, usually it's going to get a continuation, you know. That's kind of what I was banking on, but yeah, it didn't play out there. Well, at least I didn't add another position in. I was going to if it broke the slow, but it never did, so. Right, let's neaten this up. Yeah, I think the best buy opportunity is going to be above 141,600. Then we have clean candles at that point. It's like a 33 pip range. So yeah, I suppose we just gotta wait. I mean, even if you were looking for buys, you'd got stopped out. So yeah. Also thought we could check out what GU is doing as well, because I think it moves very similar in the London session. It's kind of doing the same thing. Maybe it's like a big liquidity grab to continue higher. Okay, we'll have to wait here today then. Right, let's get some stream music on. I can't remember what one I put on yesterday. I think it was chill bass. Can I explain my trade? Well, the idea of my sell was since obviously we created support at 141,470, and then at 6:30 a.m. we tried to go bullish, but we see here at 7 a.m. we had this deep retracement, and it actually broke below support. So I took a look on the 15-minute, and I was like, okay, well, since the 15-minute candle closed bearish, and then the next one also went bearish, I was like, okay, well, maybe the next one's also going to continue moving down, since we have this clean traffic to the left-hand side. But maybe could have waited for like a minor resistance since it was in an uptrend, but still, I thought it made sense at the time. Yeah, 1 hour got below all this support, so okay, I don't like that song. Hey man, I took a sell after candle closed below the support and I got stopped out. Can you explain why? Just probabilities, man. You know, I had the same idea, so it just didn't play out. Even the next 15-minute candle did respect this area, which I was like, okay, now we should continue down. But next one just came right back up with the range. So yeah, I think just didn't play out there. No, I took the sell on the retest because then I thought since if it's coming up to do a retest, it should respect this high and continue down. So I might just tune either. Yesterday they had some decent tunes, but I don't know what's going on today. So yeah, now I think we're gonna need to wait for like London Open, see what volume brings. But yeah, no, the idea for sales wasn't wrong because, you know, we've seen this plenty of times where price tries to move up, it does a fake out, and then, you know, since we're breaking below support, we should continue down. But it doesn't always happen like that, I suppose. So yeah. So this move started at 12:30. Wow, straight bullish. Straight bullish.
On the one, what it looks like, it had like a liquidity grab. It broke the high, but it just didn't close below.
Yes. I would agree with the liquidity grab on the 1 hour. Since if this 1 hour candle was going to close above this support, then this move down definitely was a liquidity grab. Okay, let's check out gold over here. Start off with the daily time frame. Okay, so we know that daily's reacted to this support at 1828. Something that we spoke about in the pre-Asian session analysis. We also know that we have a resistance over here at 1856. Let's take a look on the 4 hour. So yeah, it seems that the 4 hour is in this current range over here. But it does look like we're trying to create some support within this range. So if we can break the high of the previous 4 hour, then we have a nice clean candle at that point to go bullish. Looking on the 1 hour time frame, this is where it gets a little bit more messy because we can see that we're just ranging. Price is just ranging on the 1 hour time frame. Just try and neaten this up a little bit. Yeah, so just kind of ranging right now on gold. So if we break below support, if we just remove this here for a sec. So if we break below the support at 18, what's that, like 1837, 1838, then we can continue down to like 1833 at that point. So let's measure this range. This is like a 40 pip range, pretty good. But the buys, you have a nice clean range coming up to, I'd say, 1849 is going to be a good target.
I had a buy on gold.
Oh, nice.
In
the Asian?
It was it was pre-Asian session. So I took it based on the 15-minute time frame. I'll send you a chart to have a look at.
Okay. So yeah, I think we're gonna need to wait to see what London Open can bring. see which volume, which way it takes us, and then yeah, we'll see. The trade was good, although it did not work out. Yeah, I think it was a good idea. You know, it made sense. We still respected the high, but I mean, yeah, we would have got stopped. Well, I did get stopped out. A lot of times I see this happen and it plays out. You know, so I mean, yeah, it is what it is, man. Just gotta wait now. See what London Open brings. No doubt this was, if this closes below the range now, then no doubt we're going to see something similar to yesterday. Because if you look at it, the 1 hour time frame, if the 1 hour candle closes below this support here in a minute's time, then this move down was not necessarily a liquidity grab, you know. But that would just be typical if it came all the way up over here to continue down. Yeah, the 1 hour time frame looks like it's going to close below this support over here. Let's take a look at the 30-minute. Oh, look at this now. If this 30-minute closes below this zone, oh wow, look at this. Thank you, Dan, appreciate that, very kind. Okay, so we're now coming into London Open. Let's take a look. So the 30-minute closed back in the range, but the 1 hour time frame closed below support. So gets a little bit more difficult here, but I think we're obviously gonna need to wait to see how London Open reacts, and then wait to see what kind of happens here. Because since the 30-minute closed back in the range, technically there's no sells at this point. But the 1 hour time frame is still closing below this support. So I think the best thing to do is just going to wait for what London Open is going to do. Let's see what volume. Oh, it seems as though we're coming down to break the lows over here. Yeah, I mean, I think maybe the best re-entry would be if the 30-minute low breaks, but I kind of want to wait for London Open first.
I've sent the link on the Zoom chat.
Yeah, no worries. Did you send the chart? Sorry, Selim.
I've sent the link on the Zoom chat.
Oh, okay. Oh, nice. Awesome. Right, let's take a look. I wasn't doing that. Okay. I think GJ's breaking down here, isn't it? Oh no. Okay. So this was gold, 15-minute time frame. Price created resistance but failed to close above. Yep. Price came back to retest previous support, closed above. Retest resistance. Nice, beautiful. Oh, 23 pips. Beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, nice. I think this is a good trade, but I'll say one thing is just be cautious because gold can wick down back into this range and then start to drive up. So with the stop loss, just be cautious. But still great trade. I like it.
Yeah, thank you. To be fair, the confirmation that I've had is if you look when we created the support,
Yeah.
then if you can see them two 15-minute candles, they've had no bottom wick,
Yes.
which is like no range to go down.
Yes.
Then I've looked on obviously on a 5 minutes down the time frame. I've seen a strong 5-minute close, and that was at like around 1:15. Then I thought probably within Asian Open we're just gonna have like a big push, and my take profit was at 1841, and because of the volume, it didn't even. Like the position wasn't even closed at 1841, so it got closed at like 1841 and 750.
Oh, nice. So you got a decent move there. That's great.
Yeah. Thank you.
Fantastic. Very nice
Thank you.
work. Yeah, GJ, I'm not really sure at the moment. I'm thinking the only way price can continue down, the best way is going to be to break the 30-minute low, but I mean, it's not really.
I just wish that 30-minute just closed below that area to the left.
Yeah, then it would have made so much more. It just would have been so much easier. But I thought the original sells looked nice. I mean, when I see that beforehand, I'd always be taking those sells. So I don't know.
I'm in buys on Euro JPY.
Oh, nice. Take a look at EJ. Oh yeah, nice. Like it. Yeah, it should continue even bullish. So this is yeah, nice. I like it. Bit of consolidation. Then yeah. Man, GJ has done nothing with the open. It's just consolidating right now.
Is there any news today?
I don't think there is. There might be at like 9. I checked last night, but just double check. Nah, today's clear day actually. I thought so.
I think probably maybe we're having like less volume because it moved a lot on the Asian session, so maybe we just need to like consolidate a bit on the 1 hour time frame. Probably pre-NY we may be getting some good volume, possibly.
Yeah, potentially. Because sometimes what's going to happen, sometimes London Open won't do anything straight away, and then just suddenly there's gonna be this volume come in, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to think, you know, where could I look for if the volume goes bearish? Well, if we break this low over here, I think it's going to be a good opportunity to take a second chance sell. I think that could work out.
Where would you put like you take profit?
I think TP would be, well, I mean, we have clean move, but I think, yeah, maybe this area, oh, we're coming down over here. I think I might give the sells a second chance if we do break this low.
I'm in.
Nice.
Pretty sure I broke it.
Yeah, I think it did.
It's on the 1 hour. I do like the way it looks.
Yeah, we did break this low over here with London Open Volume 2, so I think we should continue down. Yeah, I'm gonna give the sells a second chance over here. But if this candle flips bullish, then I'm immediately closing 50% at that point. Right, I better get my magic keys ready. Yeah, maybe the first sells just wasn't meant to be, and since we're breaking the lows over here, I think we should continue down now. I think we should get some nice volume now. Hopefully. I don't think price was meant to do this fake out, you know. I don't think it was meant to do it. I think it was like in terms of the volume, it maybe just didn't have the volume at the time to continue down, and since London Open is, you know, breaking the lows over here, now we should continue down. Oh, GJ. How are you going to do us like this? Look at this retracement, man. Ooh, damn. It's the 5-minute candle. Well, if this candle flips bullish, I have to close 50%. Oh, GJ. Nasty pullback. Oh, what's going on there? 5 minutes. Is that a retest? Well, if this 5-minute flips, that would be super nice now.
Yeah.
Oh, GJ, you made my heart go.
Wow.
It made my heart drop. I was like, oh man, no. Not 4 in a row this week. Right, there we go. It's moving back now. Okay.
Hopefully that 15-minute closes, you know, below that support that we created. Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, I think if it
I mean,
does,
I'm not.
I think if it does, the next one should continue moving down. But it was just nice to see that. Obviously, the 5-minute wicked up quite a bit, and I was like, oh man. But it does seem like it's playing around here a little bit. Because
to be fair, like,
felt like we had volume coming in, but
I'm not in sales. I'm like mainly what I do want to see is like buys, because on the weekly it's still respecting. I mean, obviously a weekly is just a high time frame, but I think we'd still have to we're still having more momentum to go bullish, but you never know. Maybe not now, maybe later on. Probably gonna retest the daily where we broke the daily high
Yeah.
at 141, 200, and then potentially carry on to go bullish, because we need to make like a good structure on the 4 hour.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I'm just thinking right now, the candles are telling me, you know, since these candles, they tried to come up, they rejected this area. This one also wicked up, is breaking the lows. I think we should head down. I'm fairly confident we should head down. When it retraced, I was like, ooh, man. It's no good.
Are you securing anywhere, or are you just gonna let it run?
Just gonna get 10 pips, probably. Just secure the bag, and then, yeah. Where is
Yeah.
10 pips? 10 pips is around 141,321.
Yeah, that's good.
So yeah, the 15 minutes coming to a close here in a second. Looks like it should close strong. So I think price should continue moving down now. I think it should. Yeah.
Then the next one should definitely respect the support.
Yeah, we hope.
Shouldn't
We
go
hope.
back to the range.
We hope. We hope.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's GJ, man. Trust me, this pair can do all sorts. Let's take a look at GU, because I know GU moves quite similar. So GU is also trying to move bearish. Yeah, maybe GU is going to come down and fill this wick. Okay, so I think the 15-minute candle's coming to a close. It's closed bearish below this area. So, I mean, now we're starting to get extra confirmations while we're in the sells. So, yeah, hopefully it's going to continue down now. But I just want to be making sure that I'm managing risk. Yeah, see, if we break this 5-minute high, then I'll be closing 50%. But I think we could continue moving down now, since we're coming down to fill the wick and whatnot. So yeah, let's hope.
If we can just break this wick to the left there, that'd be nice.
Yeah. I think it should continue at this point. It's broken this wick. Take a look on the 1 hour. Yeah, it's also broken the low of the previous 1 hour candle. Yeah, so this candle can come up to create a top wick, which is why, you know, you have to let it do what it's got to do. But if it breaks this high over here, then I'm closing 50%. It's at 141,476. What's this? I switched to QWERTY just now. Everybody has different lines. Well, different people have different analysis. This is my analysis. So yeah, that's just how it goes. Yeah, okay, well, at least we're moving into profits, because as price moves into profits, it may not be a lot, but like I say, you know, you can always manage the trade better when you're in profits than when you're sitting in a drawdown. So yeah, we just need a nice volume push to like break this low, and then we should continue. We've got 11 minutes here for the 30-minute candle to close anyway. So as long as the as long as the 30-minute closes below this minor support, then that's also, you know, like added confirmation that price should continue down at that point. So as long as the 30-minute can also close below this minor support, then the sells are still valid. So you always want to be looking at, okay, well, what's also going to make my sells still valid? Yeah, so this kind of could be coming up to make a little bit of a top wick. It's perfectly fine. So let's see how this first 5-minute candle closes. Yeah, maybe it did come up to make a top wick. I don't like the wick on the left. Need to break past it. Yeah, we did break below it. Just a little bit, but we did break below it still, so. Yeah, so looking on the 5-minute candle did close bullish, but 5 minutes not necessarily confirmation that we're gonna head up, you know. I still think we can have a pretty good sell here. Confidence. Confidence is key. If we break the low over here on the 5-minute, I think we can now start to continue down. Yep, we're breaking the lows on the 5-minute time frame. 15 minutes coming down, 30 minutes now moving bearish. I think a nice bit of volume push here, and then we're gonna have a great day. Oh, beautiful. We're starting to move into some profits here now. I'm up about 7 pips at the moment. So see, since price is moving 7 pips into profit, you know, see, this is the point. If it comes back to my entry, I'll be closing 50% because it has no reason to do that now. 15-minute candle create a top wick. It's moving down. 5-minute also breaking the lows. So yeah, we want to just see price continuing on at this point. Yeah, hopefully it's not going to be a Dutty Tuesday where we go like 8 pips into profit. And then
That's secured on EJ.
oh, nice.
12 pips.
Beautiful. Just want to watch the 5-minute. See how this 5-minute candle closes. Man, Monday, Tuesday seems to be the days where price will move like 7-8 pips into profit and then it retraces. It's so annoying. But yeah. Either we get like volume in the last couple minutes. Right, so we are coming into the last kind of like 5 minutes now of the 30-minute and of the 15. So as long as they continue to print bearish on the smaller time frames, then it's all good. But I don't see why this 15-minute will need to break its own high or come back up to this area. I managed to work out how to keep the music nice and quiet anyway. Ooh, 5 minute, what's going on? So we're coming into the last 5 minutes of the 30-minute. Yeah, I don't see why this. I don't think this 5-minute candle has any business to go bullish, or at least break the high of the previous 5-minute, since it came down and pushed so much down. So let's see how this 5-minute candle closes. Oh, there we go. That's what I like to see. Okay, 5-minute candle's coming to a close. See, it's still closing above this like minor 5-minute support, but that's perfectly fine, because on the 5-minute it just can do that sometimes. But what we want to make sure is that the 30-minute closes below this minor support, and that the 15-minute also closes below this minor support. And then it just paves the way for the next candle to also continue moving down. They are pulling away from the long holders. Maybe. Mate pairs. This is GBP, JPY. Yeah, it says it up there.
It's really taking its time.
Yeah, it seems like a little bit of lack of volume maybe, but it looked good when we were breaking down below the lows, you know. So well, either way, like we're still getting confirmations, you know, like on the 30-minute, on the 15-minute. As long as these candles are closing, you know, the way they are, then it's all good. There's no need to do anything at that point.
think if you look on the 30-minute and then the 1 hour, probably is reacting to the support that was created yesterday.
Maybe,
Or actually
but
back in the 15th of January.
potentially, but I'm kind of focusing in now on this most recent price action, you know, and since price was breaking the lows and, you know, we're breaking this minor support with London Open, I think it was a good, you know, opportunity to sell.
Yeah.
But I don't know, some days you know, some days it's just going to be one of those days, you know, that's just it. Like, the confirmations are there, but either it's just slow trottling volume, or, you know, it's just one of those, like, but you just have to manage your risk, and that's what you can do.
Yeah, true. I mean, then definitely there is a lack of volume a bit.
Yeah, it does seem as though, because we're just kind of like taking our time. Is there a way to check who are the big players at the moment and their activity? No, we don't know who. You will never know who's pressing buy and sell on the other end, or what institutions are playing what. Yeah, you'll never get to know that. It's not something that we have access to. Maybe we'll see a little bit of a push here in the last. Ooh, nice, beautiful. Come on, GJ. Last 1 minute, just make the move.
I still believe in these sells.
Yeah, I've got faith. You gotta have faith. It was a nice little flip of the 5 minute. I was like, yes. Go on 5 minute. So yeah, as long as this 30 minutes coming to a nice strong close, like it does seem it is, then I think we're going to be good. 15-minute candle also coming to a nice close. Kind of. So yeah. I think it's paving the way for the next one to also continue down. But we need to respect this high now as well on the 15-minute time frame. Yeah, look, took its time right to come back to where we wanted it to go. Really took its time. Okay. Beautiful. So candles did close strong. 30-minute close strong. 15-minute candle also closed like a strong bearish candle. So hopefully now the next candle's gonna wick up a little bit, and then we're gonna continue on. And then I think we can secure some positions not too far away, and it'll be pretty nice. Yeah, I think this was a good trade. As long as it can respect the higher in the 15-minute. I know it's a new 30-minute open. Let's take a look at the 1 hour. 1 hour kind of still open. So everything's like kind of bearish on the smaller time frames. You know, 15-minute candles are bearish. 30 minutes bearish. So you have a lot of confluences. And I think once we break the low of the next 15-minute, then we're going to head down at that point. But there is a condition. Obviously, if this candle comes up to break the high, or comes basically to my entry, then I'm going to close 50%, because we don't want to see it break the high on the 15-minute time frame. It makes no sense. Yeah, so hopefully we can secure positions here today. Have a nice winning trade. But this week's been a bit tough so far. I mean, yesterday was it was a good day, but a little bit more tricky. But today's been a little bit tough, you know, since... Oh, there we go. 15-minute kind of flip. If we break this low over here, I think we're going to have to take a really nice sell. Sorry, one more saying take a nice sell. I think we're going to have a really nice sell here. 4 hour bearish, so all good, I think. Well, yeah, everything's bearish, so we've got a lot of confluences. but it's never guaranteed. So you always have to put it in your head. Like, you almost have to put it in your head that, you know, it's more than likely gonna lose, because then if you put it in your head it's more than likely gonna lose, you're gonna be a bit more cautious. You're gonna be looking, you know, you're gonna be always looking, okay, is it gonna break this high? Can I close 50%? You know, it's almost like you want to close 50% because you want to be safe. So we are starting to come back to my entry at this point. So hopefully it's just creating a top wick. That's what we kind of want here. But if it does come up to my entry, then I'm definitely closing. Yep, there we go. I closed 50% of the position since we're breaking the high on the 15-minute. Oh, I've gone to the 22-minute. Yeah, we broke the high on the 15-minute time frame, so I closed 50%. Man, GJ, what's going on here today?
It's just nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, not a good day here today at all. Look at this. Oh, damn, running in a bit of drawdown here. Yeah, this is not what we want to see happen. See, this is exactly why I say, you know, you've got to be cautious. I'm probably going to close out here if in a sec. Let's take a look at the 5-minute, because this has retraced everything. Like, obviously it could be doing a retest, that's fine, but I mean, it makes no sense. Like, so yeah, I'm leaving that up 50% for the moment, but I mean, I think if we start to surpass the body high of this candle, then I'm closing out full position. I don't agree. You have to stay positive and trust your analysis is with all lives. Stay positive. Yeah, no, I'm not saying not to be confident in your analysis, but what I mean is, if you have it in your head that your trade's going to work out, you're going to be less likely to reduce your risk. You're going to be more inclined to think, nah, I'm pretty confident it's going to work out, so I'm just going to hold the position, which I think is a bad idea. Because in this particular occasion, we went from being 7 pips up to now being in drawdown. Like, that's just it's just not a good feeling, you know. Like, you don't want to be in that situation. So, you know, if it was me thinking it's gonna work out, then I would have, as it was running drawdown, I'd be like, nah, it's just creating a top wick, it's fine, it's gonna continue down. But you know, you gotta be cautious. Like, yeah, 30-minute could be creating a top wick, fine, but I mean, it should have respected the high on the 15-minute, because if it's going to retrace now, like, that's a huge wick, you know, it's a huge liquidity grab. So I don't know, I'm not so convinced that we're heading down yet to this other 50%. But obviously I'll wait to see what kind of happens.
It's kind of like yesterday, like a huge 5-minute, and then it's just like,
yeah,
no wick to the top, and comes all the way back down.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here. Yeah, I mean, there's no guarantee as well that this candle's not even going to break its own high, you know, and then come right back up in this range. So that probably just what I'm thinking. If it breaks its own high, because if you look on the 5 minute, the 5 minute has no issue. Oh yeah, look at this, man. I'm not really comfortable.
I just closed out. Just don't feel comfortable in it now.
Yeah, I'm tending to agree with you here.
Just shouldn't have done all that massive pullback
No,
within a few minutes.
no. Makes no sense. I mean, this would be some deep grab if it was, but I just can't see how it would be. Because we've already kind of done that over here. So yeah. Okay. Yeah, GJ's moving poor today. I think the 30 minutes still looks good. What do you think? I'm not sure, man. It should have really respected this high on the 15 minute, really, for it to continue down. Like, that's the... Like, yeah, in theory it still can because it's respecting the 30 minute high. But at the same time, like, I think the probabilities now are a lot less. A lot less. I like the calming music. It makes me take good decisions. Yeah, nice. Yeah, I managed to work it out so I can have it a bit quieter so people can hear me speak. Ooh, yeah. See, at this point, I think if it breaks its own high, then I'm gonna close everything. But I mean, it's coming to a close here in like 3 minutes. It doesn't look like it's gonna retrace. Well, it will go up because market just made a correction to continue pulling up. Well, I mean, yeah, but it's still respecting the high on the 30 minutes, so you don't know that for sure. But yeah, I'm probably about to close out here in a sec. Just want to try and see maybe if it pulls back to like break even, I can get out with the other 50% in a smaller drawdown.
You're definitely taking a gamble by holding it low, because like if you're not comfortable and you're trying to wait like to keep your drawdown smaller, it could easily just go the other way.
Yeah, it's true. I've got my stop loss like just above this
there.
area. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right. Then.
Yeah. No, it wasn't that. I just thought in case it does pull back, because if this candle closes bullish, the sells aren't valid anyway. So if it closes bullish, I can get a smaller. But yeah. But I think I'm about to get stopped out here anyway. Yeah, it got stopped out. There we go. So there we go. Another two trades today. Not been a good week so far. But there we go.
I think the Asian has been a bit ruining the London Open, because obviously we've been having like some good volume on the Asian side, and it's just London is just kind of like consolidating a bit.
Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't necessarily like affect, you know, one another, but I don't know. It shouldn't affect it, you know, like just because there's volume in the Asian doesn't mean there'll be less volume in London. It just, yeah, it seems like actually today there's just a lack of volume since we struggling to head down, but there we go.
Yeah, it's tough because I mean the 15-minute closed below, and then the next 15-minute turn the 30 closed below, and that looked good.
Yeah. To be fair, like you said, that 15-minute coming back bullish, it just didn't make sense at all.
No, it didn't make sense. It shouldn't have broke the high.
Because if we like created, like, let's say a fake out, we shouldn't have had that previous bearish candle. We should have just came back to the range.
Yeah.
Obviously, we broke below the range, so it's not making sense.
No, it doesn't make sense.
And there's like no fundamental news, because I've checked. There's nothing that could have made that pullback or that messy pullback to the range.
Yeah, that's true, man. That's true. I mean, it's still respecting the high in the 30-minute, but I mean, I just don't see how it could continue down at this point. And if it does, then I mean, yeah, it's just is what it is, I suppose.
I mean, like, you always have them weeks where like price action just won't work with your like trading plan, and maybe this is just one of them.
Maybe. Yeah, we'll have to see what tomorrow and Thursday brings. But I'm in a position now where I need to be, cautious with the, next 2 days. They need to be wins, otherwise could have a losing week here. Because now I've got, in terms of trades, so I have 1 break even and now 3 losses basically. Because technically yesterday, like I say, I took 2 losses, but I mean one of them wasn't really a loss. Like it was like a break even. So I mean, yeah. I mean today's loss was small. Today's loss was like £100, even though, but yeah, is what it is. But imagine if this plays out now. That would be frustrating.
Just the way I see it, like if we actually had a good volume, we could possibly would have tapped to that 141, 220 area. But because there's a lack of volume, I think that's why we just seen that. Because what I'd like to see is if we had a good volume, we would have had like a nice trade all the way down to 141, 220, and that's obviously coming back to where the previous daily high was, and then maybe range and then potentially have another push, bullish push. But it's just like a volume. It's just why I think I'm seeing that messy range on the chart.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely lack of volume here.
Although it has like a nice push up from London Open.
Mm-hmm. Look at this now, it's coming right back down.
Yeah, maybe I need to start holding the other position and just let it do its thing. Don't know.
But it made no sense though. I mean, it
Nah,
shouldn't
didn't.
have came back to this area. You know.
Yeah. I mean, at the least, I would have wanted to see the 15-minute close. What was it? Close like below 141 425.
Yeah.
Out there, yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But we may just hit this zone and then just start consolidating either way. But yeah.
Your mic's making like a weird noise.
What
Like
noise?
I don't know, like a static noise kind of thing.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it gone now?
Yep. It's gone.
Oh, okay. Thanks for letting me know. Well, it looks like it's coming right back down to this area, which makes no sense.
It was like I'm trading GCAD.
Yeah.
Fully.
Literally.
Exactly what it was like. doing it again, your mic.
Is it?
Yeah. I don't know if people can hear it on the YouTube or not.
Usually they'd say something. Can people in the YouTube, can you hear the static noise or? Oh, really? That's kind of weird though, because
Have you had any like phone calls?
no, maybe I'll keep my phone away from it. Hold on.
Because sometimes, like when you're about to receive a phone call with the signal, it just makes noise through
has it
the
gone?
headphones. I can't hear it now, but it was happening. But now I can't hear it anymore.
No?
No. I think
Okay.
it's gone now.
Okay. Well, let me know if it comes back, and then maybe it's because I got the phone there. But look at this, man.
So I'm going to be putting the charts up with like my analysis on it, and like when you look on Instagram, it's like it looks like it's a win, and then you just got like the loss next to it.
Yeah.
The way it's moved afterwards.
Yeah, man.
Down.
But yeah, GJ's been annoying this week. Look at this, comes all the way back down, and then yeah, I think this is not a day to be trading.
I'm not taking another trade today.
Nah, I'm done for the day now. Oh, looks like gold broke out over here. Let's see what GU done. Oh, GU just looks disgusting. They've done the same thing. Yeah, just let me know next time you hear the static, because it might actually be when I have my phone near me, you know, so.
Yeah, no worries.
You just wouldn't want to be holding this, would you? If you were still in now.
No.
It's been like an hour since we would have took the entry.
Yeah, I don't think it's... Yeah. I personally probably wouldn't be holding this because at this point it's just kind of ranging, you know. I mean, actually it's coming right back up to this area again. Will you lower your risk for the rest of the week? I've been testing whether or not to, since every trade is dependent from the next. No, I wouldn't be lowering my risk, because then if I have a win, I'm then going to win less than what I would have done. So you just have to keep the risk or the lot size the same and the risk kind of the same. You know, you have to treat each trade as an individual trade. But obviously what I will be doing, you know, like tomorrow and Thursday is, you know, kind of focusing on not giving trades second chances, like really trying to wait for precise entries, which I think I've done so far. But yeah, I think it's just the way the market's moved, you know. But because I've kept the losses small, it still allows me to have 2 wins and you know, back in profit basically. So yeah, just gonna focus on trying to have 2 good trades the next couple of days, and then I seem to always scramble it back. Start of the weeks never seem to be good for me. Yeah, I think we're coming back in the range here now anyway. So despite we saw it retracing back, I think it's going to close back in the range over here. I think the sells are no longer valid at this point.
No way to the top as well.
Yeah, I see that. But it did close back in the range, so seems like a fake out now. Can't learn much from a day like today. Piss poor from GJ on to tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah, it's dreadful price action. Perfect example that we maybe had to wait until the 30-minute confirmation below was extra confirmed, with next 30-minute passing the low wick because it did not, then wait for the retest to get in on a lower point. I mean, yes, but most scenarios you're gonna miss the move that way, you know, because when price is moving bearish and it closed below this, let's say this minor support here, 8 to 9 times out of 10 is going to continue down from this point, because once we break a support and we close below and counters are printing below, there's a higher probability we're going to continue down. So from this point, the sell should have played out. You know, look, we had 7.5 pips in the bag and it retraced. So yeah, I suppose it is what it is. Yesterday it retested twice to get in. Yeah, but you see that was on the 15-minute time frame. You know, we could argue that these two move up. These two counters were a retest. You could argue that, because if this was support on the 1 hour, right? Let's make this support on the 1 hour, right? And we go back to the 15-minute. 1, 2, 3 candles retested this 1 hour support before heading down. You know, so if you think about it like that, then that's why it played out. And then if you measure that, look, from the retest it moved 15 pips. You know, I didn't get my entry until down over here because we was expecting price to continue, but technically from a retest perspective it retested and moved down 15 pips. So yeah, you know, even on the 30-minute retested this area, you know, you're just, yeah, so just one of those. But man, I'm hungry. I'm gonna go make some food and a drink. I'll be back here in a minute. But yeah, let's see what GU did. GU just consolidated. It's consolidating, but it consolidated. Just dreadful price action on GU anyway. Okay. Right, okay, there we go. Yeah, I'll be back in a minute. Well, nothing we can do. Bullish on all time frames now. Yeah, nothing we can do now. Okay, yeah, I'll be back in like 5-10 minutes. Bear with me, guys.
time with me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Make me yours, take your time with me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Time with me. Show me the universe you see. Hold me close to you. I'll keep you from burning down. Time with me. Show me the universe you see. Hold me close to you. Make me yours, yours. Make me yours.
Something.
I wanna go to a place where I can feel the rain again. I wanna reach the mountain where I can soar across the sky. And so my feet start to tremble, they lift off the ground. I leave it all behind. And I can see the horizon, it's calling my name. I leave it all behind. I'll rise above all that I hold dear. I'll never fall. I'll always soar across the sky. I wanna fly through the night and feel what I used to be. I wanna run away where I can soar across the sky. And so my feet start to tremble, they lift off the ground. I leave it all behind. And I can see the horizon, it's calling my name. I leave it all behind. I'll rise above all that I hold dear. I'll never fall. I'll always soar across the sky.
Right. Sorry about that, guys. Back. Looks like GJ's just still in this range. Dreadful price action here for a London session. Okay, let's take a look at gold. Looks as though gold has created a support over here on the 30-minute time frame. Let's take a look on the 15-minute. Yeah, so looking on the 15-minute, if the next 15-minute candle can wick down and then break the high, then I think gold should continue moving up at that point. Okay, so we've got like 25 minutes left for the 4-hour candle to close. So, yeah. So I was thinking of doing a giveaway when we get to 2K subscribers on YouTube. Currently at like 1,180, I believe. At what point do you think I should start the competition? Anyone? Like, at what subscribers would you start the competition to try and encourage it? Obviously, you could start now, but then, you know, I've got like 900 subs to find, you know, so. $1.7. Yeah, so around 300 away. Yeah, it would make sense. Maybe like
How many-
1,500.
How many you got now?
So now it is, go to the channel, 1.18. 1.18.
Maybe
so
one and a
there's-
half. Don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, maybe like 1.5.
1.7 could be good. Yeah. But then, would you want to do another one at 2?
I mean, it's not the biggest, like 1,000 subscribers is a big number. I think like the best one is going to be 10K subs. Obviously, that's going to be like the next proper big milestone. But I don't know, I just thought it would be good to like encourage the growth, you know, to get those subs. Because I already know a lot of people aren't subbed to the channel, but they watch, you know. So I can't force people to sub, but if I put like an incentive, like a competition, you know, it's more likely for them to want to subscribe. Okay. Yesterday took a profit. Today gave back to the market. Yeah, I've already given some of last week's profits back, but the week's not over. So I suppose we're just gonna have to wait and see how the 4-hour candle closes in 12 minutes time. I can't believe they reckon they've already I was just reading here, they reckon they've vaccinated already nearly 4 million people in the UK.
Yeah, I saw on like because it on our TV they had like a vaccination count in the bottom corner,
Yeah.
like counting up.
Oh god, they would, wouldn't they?
Yep.
You know what doesn't make sense to me, just while we're like on the stream and we can like talk freely, is what doesn't make sense to me is how surely if, okay, so they reckon 4 million have had a first jab. Now I know they say like you need the 2 jabs for it to work or whatever, or you need to wait 3 weeks, but still, how many people have had the second jab is 500,000. So 500,000 people have had the second jab, but 4 million have had the first jab, right? But surely you would see a slight change in the death toll if you've already vaccinated, let's say 4 million, because your first jab is still going to give you some immune what do they call it, immunization or whatever, right? It's going to do that surely, because you're still giving them the virus and their body's already starting to, you know, work with the antibodies. So I just would have thought that since so many have been vaccinated, you would have seen a small change in the number of deaths. I mean, just a small one, but
Yeah.
they reckon deaths are going up.
Yeah, exactly. Like
I don't know how
you'd
that
think,
makes sense to me.
yeah, you'd think like obviously getting your jab and that, but you should be able to like, you know, go around without wearing a mask now because you should be somewhat immune to it.
Yeah.
I thought that's how it works, but they're gonna keep, no matter how much this death toll is, they're gonna keep making us wear masks and all this.
Yeah, I think
Just
they
seems
are.
that way.
Yeah, it does, because otherwise it doesn't make sense why you still have to wear a mask if you've had the jab. If it does its job. If it does its job, you shouldn't
Yep.
need to wear a mask. But
then it'll be like you need the jab for the other strains, and then that's why you've got to wear a mask. It's never ending.
yeah, there ain't gonna. I mean, I don't see us getting out of this year at all, personally.
Neither.
I know a lot of people are gonna be like, oh well, once the jab's all rolled out, we'll be back to normal. But I just can't see it. I just can't see it. It's almost like they want it to be like this, you know? It makes no sense. The other thing as well is, I mean, I don't know how they're like allowed to do this, but why are they continuing to obviously say the amount of COVID deaths are going up when they don't actually mention the fact that they've been putting the flu deaths alongside with the COVID deaths this whole time? Like, why don't they mention that? You know, I don't understand that. Because at the end of the day, if you look at the statistics now for flu cases, flu deaths this year, they basically said 0, and the reason why is because they've put them in with the COVID deaths. Like it just, I don't
It's
know.
messed up.
Yeah, and then I was reading the other day. So they announced they reckon like there's been like the highest deaths of since the pandemic started or something like that. Similar back in March. And I was like, I don't understand how. You know, I don't understand that, because then what was the point in the first lockdown if we're now having the same death toll? It just goes to prove it. They don't work. But then I was like, okay, well, let's read this. So I read it. And you know what it said in small print at the bottom? This is actually official government website. And you know what it says at the bottom? It says
What?
It says that some deaths may include back to May 2020. Say for today, right? They could include deaths that were back in May. So for all we know, we could. I mean, I ain't even trying to start the whole conspiracy theory debate, but I mean, it's pretty fishy, isn't it? Like, why would they do that? You know, because as well, they actually reckon, I was listening on the radio, that the R rate has gone down, but deaths are going up. Makes no sense.
Just need some common sense, don't you?
Yeah, well, that's what we have as traders, well, most, and a bit of critical thinking. You know, like we read candles, and you also got to read in between the lines, you know, of the information that you're being given, and it just doesn't add up. But I bet if we go on the official government website, right? Let's look at the COVID deaths. HM government. Pretty sure I'll be able to find this. Okay, yeah. So this is the data. Oh, here we go. So where do we want? We want. Hey, look, they've even got it here. People vaccinated first dose, 4 million. So where deaths within 28 days of positive test. Oh yeah, and you know the other thing they've done as well is Boris Johnson has increased this day to 60 days.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Why would he do that?
To keep the numbers up. Must be.
But why? I don't know. It makes no sense to me. Right, let's take a look at the deaths data. Yeah, see, look, they're trying to say, so around about April was the worst that we had. Right, you can see that. And now they're trying to compare January to that. But we was in lockdown for the whole of November. There's been restrictions the whole of December. You got 1 day. Well, I didn't get 1 day, but the rest of the country, the up north, got 1 day to see family members. I mean, yeah, I'm not. So where's this small print? There's small print somewhere. I remember seeing it. I don't think it was on this particular page, but they have to put it on the website in small print. Here we go. Let's go about the data. Sure. I'm not sure where it is, but I definitely read it. I don't know, man. It's all a bit crazy to me. I'm just waiting for them to turn around and say there's something that's not quite right with the vaccine, or there's a strain that's, they're going to say there's a strain in another country that, R1 doesn't work, and I'm waiting for that day. I just see no way out of this. Because, yeah, I don't know. Woke up to the headlines that my city has the highest R rating. It's just messed up. What city from Sharif? I think he said. See, I've got not a great memory, but a fairly good memory. I'm going to go with, I think he said Preston. But I might be wrong. I don't know. Hash Brown says they're trying to kill you all. Haha. But sell Euro USD. Can you check my chart? Yes. Yeah, I can check your chart, but you need to send the chart in. Euro NZD still trying to move bullish over here. Yeah, so Euro NZD also, if you look on the 1 hour time frame, it's done like a break and retest on the 1 hour. Let's take a look on the 30 minute. See, there was a lot of issues to the left, but in theory, this was your breakout candle. No, I haven't received it. No, it's not showing. It's not showing. Yeah, I think we had this issue last time. So I believe the 4 hours should be closing bearish here. Oh no, last 10 seconds is going to close. See, even if it closed bullish though, I mean, we still are rejecting this zone. This zone here. So it's the new 4 hour open now. That's why it doesn't add up, because the news also say that Lincolnshire is the worst COVID rates for us. I've heard a lot of people saying that their local news claims the highest rates. Yeah. I don't know, man. I just don't get it. I mean, look at Sweden. Like, literally, they're living life as normal. You know? And they didn't approach... it's like anybody who's trying to tell me that lockdown is the only way. I mean, how can you say that when we have there's plenty of our countries that never adopted the lockdown approach, and you know, although our media will try and make it look worse for them because obviously they don't want to make out that what we're doing is so wrong. But I mean, Sweden haven't had you know, in comparison to our population, a worse death rate. You know, and now they're just living like, it's like literally like normal. Like you go on their YouTube or you look at Sweden, it's literally normal.
What people say to that is they say, well, they've got a smaller population and all this, but like even if you look at countries like China, I'm pretty sure most Asian countries are like back to normal now.
Yeah, I mean,
and they've got a 1 billion population.
Yeah, so I think China's the best example. I mean, look at them, 1.2 billion people, and they apparently had less deaths than us as a country. I mean, how the fuck does that work? It doesn't make sense. Like, yeah, okay, like, you know, not to offend anybody from China, but I mean, they're probably not going to be the most honest. You know, we already know what, well, I don't know if people know, but I mean, you know, you do read stories about what the Chinese Communist Party are like. There's no denying it. But I mean, yeah, they reckon they had a 2-month strict lockdown, and I mean, how it didn't get, I mean, think about it, right? It didn't even get out of Wuhan, right? It didn't get out of Wuhan, didn't spread to their main cities like Beijing, Shanghai, unless, again, they wasn't truthful on that. But from what they say, it didn't reach those cities, but it got everywhere else in the world, you know? How does that make sense? Doesn't make sense. But I just find it frustrating. Like, it was literally only 2 days ago that the UK government have started making people test negative coming into the country. And if you look at the figures, let's see how many people have so how many people entered the UK. I just put in 2020. How many people have come into the UK in 2020? Oh, they've only got until 2019. Okay, so think about it from the previous year, right? There were estimated 149 million passengers arriving in the year ending March 2020. So if we think about it, let's say it's going to be maybe slightly less because of the, you know, non-essential travel, fine. But there's still going to be millions. If there's 140 million on a normal year, then I'd say there's going to be maybe half. So we had probably, let's just estimate, right? Let's say half of that. Or let's just say 50 million in a year. 50 million people coming into this country while everybody else had to quarantine, test negative, can't go out, can't go to the shops. That's just crazy. Like, basically, that's probably one of the biggest reasons why the lockdowns didn't work. Because if you got everybody staying at home who's supposed to be, you know, like quarantining, so everyone's at home, but you've got millions of people just coming in, not having to test negative, not having to quarantine. It makes no sense. You know, it's like the stupidity is just incredible. But yeah, I want to know for 2020. So look, so since 21st of March, this is when they reckon this. Let's read this. So 100,000 people entered the UK, and that was March to May. So that's 2 months and 100,000 people. I would say more than that. I mean, that's just crazy. DPJPY pumping. Ooh, moving bullish over here. Oh, look at this. Four hours coming above this range over here. I think the entry would have been an impulse on the break of the 1 hour high since we came back in the range on the 1 hour time frame, and since we closed at this resistance. So it seems as though that was the push there. So yeah, this move down was a higher time frame liquidity grab, so nothing we can do. See if GU is doing the same. Oh yeah, GU also doing the same thing. I think GU maybe been the break of the 30-minute high over there. Yeah, see, that would have been a good entry on GU, but at the same time it was still ranging, so that had to really been like a impulse entry, you know. Don't take the vaccine if you're not broken. Don't fix you vaccine. Who knows side effects? Yeah, I mean, I personally won't be taking the vaccine just because I don't think I need it, you know. And I'm all for people who are vulnerable having it. You know, I'm not an anti-vaxxer, as they say. But I am for me because I don't need it. You know, that's what an immune system's for. I think it's important just to keep yourself fit and healthy, and you know that's what your body's to fight viruses for. But yeah, vaccine is just, I think for those who are vulnerable, like, of course, it makes complete sense. So I'm all for that, but what I'm not for is what I've been reading at the moment, and now you're starting to hear all this, oh well, no jab, no flights, no jab, no job. Like, you know, I don't care if, you know, there should be no legislation to make anybody put anything into their body that they don't want. You know, and if that's the manipulation that's going to happen to try and get people to get vaccinated, then I do wonder why they would do that, because it makes no sense. There's never been a mandatory vaccine with the flu, or you know, like, there's always just been the option. You know, you can't force people to, especially there's an old saying, I think it's not old saying, but it's like a what you call it, meme or whatever, but basically it said, I think it was like, imagine being forced to take a vaccine for a virus that you need to be tested to know you have it. You know, like, it's a very good point, because at the end of the day, like, if it was that deadly, you know, you should know if you've got it or not. And they say, you know, most people don't know they have it, so this tune's quite a funny song. So there we go. There'll be a discussion here today. Yeah, that's another point. Why would you take a vaccine if you've already had COVID? Because it's the same immunity, pretty much. But God knows, man. So Freddie, you had COVID then? Was it? Well, I don't know I've officially had it because I never got tested, but I think back in like January last year, February last year, I got ill, and I never get ill that time of year. And I definitely never felt this type of ill before. It was a strange one. It was like I had really achy joints. Like, I didn't have a fever, I didn't feel sick, I didn't feel any of that. I just literally had achy joints, and it was like one night I just was trying to get up the stairs, and I was just like, oh man, this is really aching. But it wasn't even like muscle ache, it was joints. You know, my actual joints were just aching, and I didn't know why. And this was like the time where they were just talking about COVID. But yeah, I think I had it. I'm not sure, because I woke up the next day and I felt fine, but I mean, I haven't had it since, and I go out, you know, a fair bit, go to shops and stuff, and I know a lot, like most people I know, like, oh yeah, I've had it. So either I'm just lucky that I haven't had it, or I did have it, and that's why I haven't got it again. But yeah, it was a strange one. I just remember going to bed early because I just was like, okay, well, if I'm not feeling great, I'll just get some rest. And next day I woke up, felt fine. The thing that annoys me is our zombie population and just believe everything they're told, question people who seek the truth. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's true, man. But you have to remember though, right? I mean, I used to get really annoyed about it. Like, I'm quite open to say that I'm not in agreement with the lockdowns. I'm not in agreement when people are, you know, scared of this virus. But you have to remember that at the end of the day, there's only a couple people to blame. And I mean, our government and our media are using such extreme scare tactics. I mean, they generally have scared the shit out of people. I mean, they have. You know, I've actually spoke to some people that have compared this COVID to the plague, and I'm being 100% serious. I had a chat with someone, and they told me that this is the plague, and I was inside. I was like, man, you're just a moron. Don't even go there. But at the same time, I have to remember, you know what? Not all of us are so you know, some of us are a bit more objective, and some of us, you know, like to see facts for ourselves to make our own judgment, whereas some people are just told how to think, you know, and you do have to remember that. But at the same time, like, you know, this person had been scared. I mean, I remember back in the first lockdown, this is actually a true story. This is how scared this couple were. I was riding my bike. Maybe I shouldn't have been on the pavement, but I mean, it was like dark. It was like 4 or 5 o'clock. It got dark at this point. Or actually, it might have been a bit later, but it got dark, and I was riding my bike, and sometimes I just ride on the pavement just because, you know, I'm only going for a little bit of fresh air. And I was coming down the road, and I could see this couple. They were maybe like 10 meters in front of me, 8 meters in front of me. So we had a good amount of distance. And she starts grabbing her husband by the coat, going, whoa, 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 like this. And I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm just going to cross over the road. It's perfectly fine. Like, so I stopped my bike to cross over the road. And she comes running at me, screaming, like, stop, like this, with her hand out at me. And I'm like, whoa, what's wrong? And she's like, you must keep your 2 meters. You must keep your 2 meters. Please go over there. I'm like, whoa, please don't tell me you've ran over towards me to tell me to stop to keep my 2 meters. I couldn't believe it. So, yeah, I gave them a piece of my mind. But anyway, it's not the point. The point is obviously this couple was scared, and I get that. But look what it brings the worst out in people, and that's what I mean. Like, the government, they've encouraged this, you know. It's crazy, and I'm afraid just this has the media have just done a good job in scaring people. They just have. Like, I mean, most people, like, I mean, I'll be honest, my granddad's a little bit of the same. He's quite scared of this virus, but he's always been a person, you know, to, like, he grew up during, you know, the World War II and stuff, and he comes from quite harsh, you know, and people didn't have a lot back then when he was, like, my age and younger, so he's been through it. But even him, he's been brainwashed, I have to admit it, and I try and talk about it with him, and he doesn't have any of it, you know, some granddads are like, once they make their mind up, that's it. They say, oh, I've been on this earth for X amount of years. And it's like, all right, fair enough. You know, I'm not going to argue with him about it, but he's the same. You know, it's like he said to me the other day. He said to me, oh, you need to keep healthy. You know, you need to make sure you're eating well because, you know, you could die getting this virus. I said, Granddad, I'm not going to die. You know, this is... I said this virus has a 99.9% survival rate, and he goes to me, oh, but I was reading on the media the other day, I was reading on the news that a poor 20-year-old lad, he passed of COVID, so you gotta watch yourself. And I was thinking, as I said to him, oh, but look, you know, that's a very rare thing to happen, you know, like you're only thinking that because you've been told that, you know. If they told you an 18-year-old died of flu, then you're going to be worried for me to catch flu. I said, but they don't tell you that because they're not worried about the flu, but that still happens. But he wasn't having any of it again, you know. He was, so not really a lot you can do, but yeah, there we go.
What's happening?
What's going on, bro?
I was just looking at this on the 15-minute. Do you not think that the previous 15 sort of closed above? I'm sorry if you've gone over this. I've just jumped back in, and yeah, it seems like it's retested now and about to continue.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like, I've taken my 2 trades, so I won't
have
be
you?
trading. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, technically, like, the 15-minute, you know, can continue moving bullish 100%. But obviously in these situations, obviously the safer option is always to wait for the 30-minute
30-minute, yeah, of course.
but that's just like with the 15-minute, yeah, it just requires a little bit more like experience. The other issue as well is usually with the 15-minute, let's say the first 15-minute closed, I don't know if you can see my cursor, but over here, right, it didn't have this one wick, and the next one breaks the high. That's usually where I'm like, okay, now there's a higher probability since the second half of the 30-minute is breaking its own high, so it can continue further. But since it's left a huge wick, it's like either it's going to come up and fill it, or it's going to close above this area. But sometimes when you're looking at that, you may want to look on the 5-minute, but then you get a bit too
into
so
too much data.
Yeah, a little bit too much information. So yeah, I mean, I'll be here to, if anybody's in this trade, I'll be here for like moral support. But apart from
I've just entered a small position just to test it out. My stop is 141,520.
Yeah, nice. I think that's going to be good because at least you want to see this candle close above this area, you know, and then if it does, then you can just manage the trade at that point, and then, you know, it can continue on. But yeah, I think it should be good. I mean, GJ's moving bullish now. GU also trying to move bullish. So yeah, I think it's gonna be okay.
And I noticed as well your post. How come you draw out your journal?
It's actually just something I
Does it help you remember or something?
I don't know. I think it's just like I was taking a look at my trades the other day, and I just was like, you know, obviously I can journal win or loss, but if I can draw in my head, like if I can draw what happened, and then I can jot down, you know, where would have been my ideal entry, you know, and then if I can flick through this book and I can just see the same thing happening over and over again, eventually, you know, even with losses, you're going to notice small things that happen on a regular occurrence. So one, it was just because like in my spare time, you know, I'm just sitting there, I thought it might be a good idea just to do that, see how it goes. And the other thing as well is I just thought that, you know, if I was to read this every day and look through it every day, and every day I go to, you know, add another drawing, I have to flick through the pages. So I'm constantly reminding myself of what it is that I'm looking for and what it is that I've seen happen a lot of times. So, I mean, I would recommend it for anybody who's like a visual learner. I think it's a great way to do it. But for me, I just like to keep a record, and I'm just gonna see how it goes, see if it makes a difference. You know, like even with today's situation with the fake out, like I'll look at it now once I draw it, and there's gonna be something that's gonna maybe click in my head to make more sense, you know. So what I might do is I might draw the 30-minute perspective, and then also draw the 15-minute perspective, and then it also gives me confluence to say, okay, well, how can I use the both together, having them both literally side by side. But yeah, I mean, just something I decided to do.
Nice.
Yeah, the other thing as well, is when it comes to like examples. So you know, like when we do webinars and stuff, and I like to annotate examples, and I'm trying to think in my head of things that I've seen before. I can refer to this because I know this is exactly how it happened, because you know I've drawn it exactly how it happened. So in effect, it's almost like it'd be great for like webinars and stuff. The other thing as well is what I was thinking is, obviously, I don't know if I mentioned this to you, but I mentioned this to Kelsey, is that maybe this year, but if not, definitely in 2022, I want to do like a boot camp. So something like a 2-3 day boot camp where either people from the group or other people want to come down, and we'll do like a 3-day intense training, and then what I can do is I want to get like a projector, and I can have these drawn examples, and then you know we can actually go through all of the examples that you know that I've got, and then we can see, okay, this is where I would have entered, this is where I did enter, you know, this is where previously I took a trade, but this is where I should have entered in, you know, and then you've got all these tons of examples. I mean, yeah, I think it's going to work really well.
Were you planning to do that like in-house? Or like,
no,
like a Zoom call?
No, we'll probably, so obviously it depends on the pandemic. I haven't got my hopes up, but my ideal situation would be to do it like to hire out a hall,
That'd be sick.
Yeah, or like a what do you call it, you know, like an office type thing where you get a big board, projector and all that, and then we'll just spend like so yeah, probably do like 3 days, and then if people want to like stay in the area, then I'll probably stay in like a hotel or something, and then we can all like go out for dinner and stuff in the evenings, go and do things in the evenings, like actually you know, gel as a group, as well as, you know, during the day it's going to be intense training. So I'm going to start to put that together probably around March, like the whole thing, just ready for whenever I want to do it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I think that'd be really good. Something that I've actually always wanted to do, like despite obviously it's, you know, costs money, but it's not that. It's like, for me, it's another milestone in, like, for myself, you know, like teaching people in person. I used to dread that, you know, like there was a time I used to dread that. If I ever had to do a presentation, believe me, my hands would be sweaty and I wouldn't want to do it. So for me, it's like almost like another thing, getting out of my comfort zone, you know. Like when I first created my Instagram and started posting stuff and wanted to, you know, share my knowledge, I was even, you know, like nervous to talk at first, but now after all of this, like, it's built character as well for me, you know. Even just doing
I can imagine.
Yeah, even just doing the live streams, like even on the first day of doing a live stream, I was a little bit nervous, you know, something I haven't done before, but now I'm pretty used to it. So it's like another stepping stone, I suppose, of yeah, a bit of character building. But yeah, I'll be looking forward to that. I think that'll be really good. So probably what I'll do is any members as part of the HFX trading group will get like a discount, and then if you're not part of the group, then it will probably be like a full fee. But yeah, but there's no like compulsory, you know, maybe no one's gonna come, so it may not happen, but yeah, I'm still gonna put it forward and see how we get on.
Need this 30 to close above.
Yeah, I think if this 30-minute candle closes above, the next one should respect the low and then continue.
Do you think that where there was such a big push in Asia and London could have just arranged like this is a little callback for a continuation in New York?
Yes, well, since we did the fake out, right, because if you look at the 1 hour candles, we had support here. The 1 hour candle came down, closed below. The next one also broke the low. So this is almost like a liquidity grab. And then now, if you look at it, it's starting to make more sense because now we're leaving this zone. So this is where all the liquidity has now been generated. And then now we're starting to head up. So, I mean, it's one of those, like, I'd say there's a higher probability now of price continuing up. So the 30 minutes coming to a close, 15 minutes also coming to a close. Yeah, I think it should continue bullish. My only issue was I looked at the 4 hour and I was like, well, this 4 hour candle closed a bit weak. It closed below this area. The other thing as well is we've moved bullish quite a bit. So I thought maybe since when we were looking for sells, that would just be the retracement and then maybe like later on. But it does seem like now it's going to do the move up. It does seem like it should do. So I think if this 15-minute candle closes bullish, right, and then let's say you had buyers over here, then you can start to look at potentially bringing your stop loss up. But at least if the next candle breaks the low over here, then you could like manage your risk at that point. But typically, like say so this 15-minute candle closes above, and let's say the next one closes bearish, then usually I would say, okay, well, if the next one breaks the high, then we're going to continue up. But it needs to respect this low over here. So it does look like it's going to close above either way. So I think your buys are still valid at this point. So yeah, we'll see how this candle closes, and then we're probably going to call it a day here soon.
Sure.
Yeah, no, it's alright. Literally, as you arrived, we were just having a debate. Well, not really a debate. It was like a discussion about.
Yeah, I forgot just about the. I think your views on COVID and.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I was just talking about my granddad. He's quite like pro lockdown. He's quite scared of the virus, and yeah, I don't know. I just feel.
I think it's more scary for the old, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, not obviously there is a lot of fear mongering going on, but I think for those, I mean, they get scared over everything, really, don't they?
yeah, that's true. But my granddad is usually not the type, which is why like I've seen a change in him, which is what makes me like, I quite openly say like, yeah, I mean the media, man, they've scared the shit out of him, like, because he ain't like that, he's always one to be a bit more like tough, he likes to make out he's like a tougher person, but I mean on this one he's not at all. He's actually quite scared of it. So but yeah, it's like I was explaining, he was talking about that a 20-year-old died of it the other day, and then he was telling me to look after myself, and I was like, I get why he's saying it, but at the same time, like, there's been like maybe like 5 people that age die out of a population of 80 million. Like, if someone throwed that figure at your face every day, it's gonna make anybody, well, not anybody, but certain people get worried, but yeah, so the 15-minute candle, it closed bearish, but it did close above this area. I would just be like a bit cautious, just because although we're getting confirmations for buys, like we had confirmations for sells and they didn't play out. So I mean, yeah, like it can continue on. I think there's a good chance it will, but I just think the way the market's been moving today, it's just a little bit tricky.
I'm just worried that the 4 hour is going to reject and just stay below this 4 hour.
This area.
Yeah.
Yeah, potentially. But I mean, at the same time, like the 30-minute did close above, so we definitely have bullish volume. So I suppose it just is what's going to happen on the smaller time frame that's going to determine whether it's going to head up or come back in the range.
Yeah, you've got your close above 141,600 now, so
yeah,
that's what I was originally looking for buyers.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. Because although this 30-minute closing above, see, look how many times it's faked out. We had the volume at 630, it faked out, came down, came below support. So then I looked for sells, then it closed back in the range, then it's broken up now. So it's a bit of a messy day. But maybe this is going to be the move that was all intended to happen. The first bearish candle of the London session, I took a short right there, but got stopped out. 141,420. Yeah. I had sells there too. I had 2 sets of sells today. Both didn't play out. And the second one looked like it was going to work out beautifully, but just didn't. So your EJ buys played out, Ibs. Very nice. Yeah, it was a beautiful trade. I think using GU and GJ is quite a good confluence because they're both heavily influenced by the pound during the London session. You know, whereas as GU moves into pre-New York times, it becomes a little bit more difficult because now you have USD influencing this pair. Right, yeah, we'll probably wait like 5 more minutes and then I'm gonna call it a day. Let's look at gold. In fact, let's just start doing a little roundup here. So looking at gold, I mean, gold tried to create some support over here, but the candle couldn't respect the low. It broke the low and actually closed back in the range. So I think if we take a look on the 15-minute time frame, yeah, I think gold could correct some of this move, but it seems to be like tapping into this area, kind of rejecting it, also rejecting the top. So it's kind of like ranging. There's kind of not a lot of volume to head down at the moment. But the buys did make sense, but just, yeah, I didn't want to play out. GBP, JPY, obviously we'll come back to that last. But I do think, though, that it's going to be important for this first 15-minute candle to close bullish. If it closes bullish and it closes above this minor resistance, then it paves way for the next 15-minute candle to also continue moving up, you know. But if this candle comes down and breaks this low over here, then yeah, the buys become a little bit more tricky at this point. But that's just how GJ works, I'm afraid. GP CAD is just messy as hell. Yeah, it just kind of ranged during the London. Then we had a big burst of volume at 8:30, but nothing really like substantial, you know. It didn't really make sense. You're at JPY. The buys played out. I think a really good buy would have been the break of this. Did you get in on the break of this week 15-minute candle, Ibs?
So he's got to take a call, I think.
Oh, okay. Oh, sure. Just seen that. Okay, fair enough. Right, we'll come back to that. Your NZD buys played out very nice. Difficult, but still a great push. Let's take a look at the daily. Yeah, it makes sense because the daily time frame closed all above this area. 4 hour. Yeah, nice. Oh, is GJ coming back below this area? Okay, so there we go. So I think I'm gonna call it a day here today. So we had 2 trades on the stream. We had 2 GBP JPY sells. Well, I had one before the stream which got stopped out, small loss. Second one also got stopped out after moving into profits. You know, we had like 7 pips in the bag at that point. Yeah, 7, nearly 8 pips in the bag before price pulled back to our entry and then did a fake out. I'm just trying to see, had we have got in on the break of the 15-minute low, oh, it literally would have moved 9.5. But see, I didn't want to do that because that could have easily broken the low and then continued moving up. So the safer option was always to wait for the 30-minute low to break. It just didn't play out here today. So yeah. So anyway, guys, I'm going to call it a day here. Thanks very much for coming on the stream. I think those of you who are in like GJ buys, you want to be making sure candles are closing bullish above this zone. Want to be making sure they're respecting the low, of the previous bearish candle. And then I think GJ buys should continue, could play out. Yeah, it should play out. Looks good. Let's take a look at the 1 hour. Yeah. Okay. So guys on the Zoom, thanks very much for coming. And we'll see you all tomorrow morning. Cheers, guys.
Thought I'd stay on to talk to you quick, 'cause obviously I've got
Oh yeah, it's fine.
my thing later on.
Oh yeah, one sec. Literally just gonna end the YouTube and then we're good.
Cool.
So thanks everyone on the YouTube. Have a good day.